Hey folks, Happy New Year and welcome to today's mini booth gathering. It's good to be back with you. I trust your Christmas season and your turning of the year have been good ones and you're ready to be back. I had an interesting experience early in the new year that reminded me of something that I feel I feel as though it's an important tone setter as we kind of get things underway. Pretty ordinary kind of event. Initially, I was calling because I needed to talk to a manufacturer about a warranty item on a home appliance. How mundane is that? And and I looked up the number for the Canadian Service Center, and I called it, and I got this cheery hello from the other end. This voice came on the line and said, "Hi, I'm Tamara. This is Whirlpool Canada. How can I help you?" And maybe it was the combination of accent and Canada. I kind of chuckled and I said, "Tamara, well, good to talk to you. You sound like you must be from the southern part of Canada." And she laughed and said, well, she was working from home because of COVID, but she was in West Virginia, in fact. And it had snowed there the night before, 5 inches, mind you. And it would all be gone by the end of the day today. It would last a day. And I told her that it was snowing here and that it would last until April. And she said, "I'll pray for y'all." And so that was how we started. And eventually we got the business done as well. And I was grateful to be helped with my, concerns. But the thing that really stuck with me, I'm not telling you a story about what was wrong with my oven. I'm telling you a story about a human to human connection. That's the part that stuck with me. That's the part that still resonates. It still makes me smile when I think about it today. Those human to human connections, they really matter. And that one with Tamara all started with that greeting. How we greet one another is a tone setter. It matters. This is something Jesus seemed to know about and think about as well. In Matthew chapter 5:47, he says, "And if you greet only your own people, what are you doing more than others? Do not even pagans do that?" In other words, where this way we greet people starts to say something substantial or deep or spiritual is when it runs outside of that familiar track of the warm greeting that we might share with a friend. And I wanted to reflect on that a little bit as we enter this new year. And this is a bit of an unusual mini booth gathering in the sense that there's no candle, there's no music, it's just an idea. All right, but I kind of wanted to put this one out there that way, just as a conversation between us. And we do have some pretty interesting things coming up in the new year, including some interesting musical things. So, stand by. But for now, just this. I wanted to reflect on this as we enter the new year because it seems to me that some of the sorts of things that will cross over from 2020 into 2021, things like a global pandemic, for instance, are the kind of things that could send us even further into retreat from that warm person-to-person connection that we just are made for and we're hungry for and that we need. And that the circumstances sort of sometimes feel like they're conspiring against these days. I know it's gotten complicated because of COVID, but I also think that that human-to-human connection has gotten more important for the same reason. More than ever, we are starving for human-to-human connection. And more than ever, I think we need to think about how we greet one another and how much that matters. And we need to do whatever we can to sort of up our hello game in whatever sort of safe, creative ways we can think of. Now, in addition to our need for that sort of human-to-human connection, how we greet one another contributes to some pretty big-scale kind of things. Like it contributes, for instance, to our spiritual formation, to what direction we're headed spiritually. And you might not have thought about that the last time you said hello to someone. But here's an interesting take on it. This is C.S. Lewis from a sermon of his called The Weight of Glory. "It is a serious thing to live in a society of possible gods and goddesses, to remember that the dullest and most uninteresting person you talk to may one day be a creature which, if you saw it now, you would be strongly tempted to worship, or else a horror and a corruption such as you now meet, if at all, only in a nightmare. All day long we are, in some degree, helping each other to one or the other of these destinations. It is in the light of these overwhelming possibilities, it is with the awe and circumspection proper to them, that we should conduct all our dealings with one another, all friendships, all loves, all play, all politics. There are no ordinary people. You have never talked to a mere mortal. Nations, cultures, arts, civilizations, these are mortal, and their life is to ours as the life of a gnat. But it is immortals whom we joke with, work with, marry, snub, and exploit, immortal horrors or everlasting splendors. Wow, eh? This idea, this thought that every human we greet bears the weight of glory, of immortality, is no less true for someone that we don't know or might even find ourselves feeling afraid of or repulsed by than it is true of our dearest friend. Anyone, as Jesus observes, may offer the warmth of a "you matter to me" greeting to their friends. It takes deliberate effort, supported by the understanding that every person I greet is an immortal being, to greet the stranger, the alien, the one that I fear, as though they have the same value in the world as the one that I love the most. It takes practice to do that. So, in these coming days, as we head into a new year, as we greet days that we have not yet met, let's make it our practice to also greet the people that we meet in whatever ways we may be able to, as the bearers of the weight of glory that each of them are. Let's greet the year and the humans with which we share that year in that light. Who knows? Might change everything. Peace, everybody. We'll chat again soon. Bye for now.